Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day. Welcome back to Alone with You. It is time to go meet the next simulated human. I think her name is Leslie Bardawaj. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. I think it's a Hindu name. Let's see what she's like. Okay, I did my kind of timid female voice with Ashley, so I'm going to do my sultry female voice with Leslie. Oh, hello there. It's nice to finally get to meet you. I'm aware of your trip today, at least partly. How did the mission go? Let's see, what was the mission like? It was okay. Just okay? I mean, I hope you got what you needed. If what the AI said was true, you'll need everything you can get. I've just been here, tending my garden. It's odd that now that I'm, well, this, I guess, that I finally get to do what I love. I like that she's outside instead of just inside a room. I mean, if I was dead and I had to live in a simulated world, I wanted to be in the outdoors somewhere pretty too. Back in the agrodomes, we were under a lot of pressure. Managing the staff and the operation was so important, but if I'm being honest, it was always the plants that I loved. The process of it, the puzzle of it all, you know? How so? Well, it's like anything else. It's rewarding to be challenged, to break new ground. Plants are like that for me. Maybe it's different for you, but the thrill of seeing life grow between your hands, under your feet, it's magical for me. Especially since this facility is so cold otherwise. All these prefab halls, building block pieces, everything in its place. Plants, flowers, trees, you can only impose so much order on them, you know? They soften the edges, reduce the monotony. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? I get you. Really? That's comforting, in a way. When you're the director of an operation like that, it's hard to find people who share your passions. When I signed up to come out here, I always thrilled with the idea of cultivating and nurturing an entire ecosystem. I mean, Hudson Cartier had a plan, of course. There are stages to terraforming, the ultimate one being, really, the creation of life. Whoa, that's interesting. Just imagine it, the whole world, green, lush, vibrant, just like Earth used to be. Oh, used to be. This storyline is getting interesting. The promise of that kept me going every day. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? Tell me more. Well, you know, the others were obsessed with radios, or drones, or ships. With me, it's always about plants. When I was little, my family had a small farm, one of the few that were left. By then, agriculture was almost entirely automated. It was illegal to sell the crops we produced. Too much regulation, too many companies controlling our food. You probably remember that. Wow, she's giving us some really juicy details about what the human race is like in this future. So we were only about to feed ourselves, only able to feed ourselves, which was also technically illegal. Everything we grew was natural, or as close as we could get. But after my parents died, I couldn't afford to keep the farm, to fend off the legal challenges from the companies who claimed we were stealing patented seeds. And somehow, I found my way here, Hudson Cartier gave me my labs, gave me farmland, let me set up greenhouses. All of them were rations we had here. Those were all designed in my lab, tested in my fields. But now all I have is this little garden, and it isn't even real, and, I guess, nor am I. Oh, Mac, what are we going to do? It's okay, it is real, kind of. It looks real, at least. Most of the time, I forget that I'm just a stupid hologram, a simulation, but sometimes I remember and I can't think about anything else. Listen, let's change the subject, otherwise I won't be able to calm down. You must have some questions, something you want to talk about? Oh, dog photo? Ooh, yeah, let's talk about the Doge. Oh, that's Charlie, my old dog. Wherever did you find this? Boy, do I miss that old corgi. Oh man, it would have been awesome if it showed a picture of it and it looked just like the Doge. Poor Charlie. I don't know how long it's been. Before I committed to Hudson Cartier and eventually to this, I had to give him up. He was the best. I tried to make him a working dog, but to be honest, he was kind of lazy. I wasn't great at training him. Charlie would sort of pretend to listen to me, but he always had his own agenda. I was a sucker for it. He was just too charming, that scruffy little guy. He's probably, well, gone by now, but the farmer who took him was great to him, I know. Good old Charlie. I was so glad you brought this to me. I'm so glad you brought this to me. It's nice to think about the old farm. It helps me focus. I think I can work even harder on these fixes for your ship now. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? The domes, I guess. Sure. I can tell you more about the agro domes. Before everything went askew, it was quite the place. You probably only saw the main agricultural dome. That was where all the production took place. It was really something else. Prior to coming here, we had researched for a decade the kind of plants we should cultivate. We went through so many trials for sustainability, nutrition, efficiency. We couldn't bring meat or animals. They were just too costly and difficult to manage, but the food processors could make plant parts and create so much with them. That technology was headed up by a team that Pierre appointed. My job was to find the right plants, the ones that could be used for hundreds of different things. He actually lost more seeds than we expected during space travel here, so in a way we started behind schedule. Finally, I was able to farm for real, not just to feed myself, but to supply an entire system. I think my parents would have loved it. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Your staff? Yeah, okay, we can talk about them. Although I warn you, I'm better with plants than I am with people. I think one of the other reasons I love working with plants so much is that they're systems I can understand. People are different. The lab work, farming, it's all complicated and often hard to predict, but people are just more so. Being the chief at the domes reminded me of that. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred to be in the labs all day, not managing people. I'm not sure I was the best at it. Well, I know I wasn't, although I can't quite remember why. I guess the AI's version of me isn't as complete as it should be. I do remember, however, Ashley. She was the chief genetics researcher. Oh, darn. I called the first woman I met Ashley. It wasn't Ashley, it was... I forgot her name. We didn't always see eye to eye. You know, just before the Rift event, I recall us having quite a heated argument. She wanted to push ahead with a new strain of tuber, and I disagreed. I can't thank you enough for coming to visit. It does get lonely in here. Even if it is beautiful, I hope you come back again sometime. You bet. I like this lady. That would be great. It helps to talk about these things, go over old details. It'll keep me sharp so I can help you with your ship. I'm going to go back to my garden now, I suppose. Good luck, Mac. I hope to see you again soon. Alright. I kind of felt more sorry for her than I did the others, because the others seemed kind of okay with their simulated environments, but she seemed really sad that she couldn't be in a real natural place. Oh man, if this is the kind of game that makes you choose which character to keep talking to, it's going to be a hard choice. I mean, I liked the last guy, and I like this lady too. It's going to be tough if I only get to choose one person to develop more of a relationship with. I feel sorry for all of them, of course, since they're all dead and they're all technically not real, I guess. Well, they're not real humans, that's for sure. They're real data, but I don't know, that's a tough topic to tackle. Ah, punctual as always, I see. Well, if you're up to it, we've got one more area to visit today. I'm ready. Coffee? Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Coffee? I will ensure that your shuttle has a fresh coffee pod ready when you leave. You should come to the core for now, though, so we can get started. So I think I'm going to continue doing the videos with both a character conversation and the exploring. Otherwise, this series is probably going to take a really long time to finish. So I want to get a conversation and an exploring part done in one episode. Well, today should be an easy choice. There is only one area left to check for now. However, I've been picking up rumblings of another storm on its way. You can access your ship as usual in the South Shuttle Bay. Please do be careful out there. Ooh, we get to go to the mines. I'm kind of interested in seeing what the mines are like. The caves, yeah. Mission complete, mission complete. Off to the caves. Though the planet's landscape is hostile, its core is rich with minerals and special kind of crystal that we can process into fuel. Hudson Cartier did decades of research to understand this crystal and how to exploit it for the energy needed for the colony. I'm not sure why your challenges chose to call this facility the Caves, but it contains the administration offices and leads to the mining operation. After the Rift event, the caves have been offline. I need you to investigate and find if there is anything left to process. Okay. Should be interesting. I like caves. Caves are cool. The administration building is where Mr. Lamamba and his staff worked. So far, it seems surprisingly intact. Before we do anything else, let's check out Mr. Lamamba's office. It should be the door to your right. Alright. We'll do that. Let's check out Mr. Lumumba's terminal. Maybe there will be some answers there. Row upon row of technical books regarding mining. The shelf is covered in mold and dirt from the damaged ceiling. The guy who made this game must really like books, because there's books almost everywhere in the game. We need access to this terminal, but it appears to need facial recognition to unlock it. The system isn't completely accurate. Maybe there's a way to get around it. Okay. Thought there was going to be something useful in here. Oh well. So we need to get some way to access the computer. This is the command center for the mining facility. All the actual mining was done by drones. It's much safer that way. Operations staff managed the drones in the mine from here. They tracked blasting, sorting, delivery, everything. There isn't much trace of the staff here though. That's odd. I don't have records of an evacuation. Let's see what we have. Inspect workstation. That terminal shows an account of all the drones that were deployed to the mine. Their statuses all read offline. Uh-oh, there wasn't some kind of rogue robot event, was there? Broken monitor. Those big displays showed the staff the real-time movements of the drones, plus general conditions and other data. Unfortunately, that monitor has been damaged, so it won't be of much use to you. It seems to be stuck in some kind of error loop. A warning keeps flashing on the screen. Ventilation failure. Uh-oh, maybe everyone is asphyxiated. That lounge area appears surprisingly opulent, even amongst all the dust and debris. Those synthetic leather chairs are not cheap. Modern-day mining operations seem much more comfortable compared to the mines of 100 years ago. Photo of Jean Lumumba. There's a low-power photo frame device on the counter. It's currently flashing a photo of Manager Lumumba, who's smiling. The frame gives it a convincing 3D effect. Okay, guess that'll be probably something I'll show to Gene when I meet him. Hold on, it's dangerous in there. Let's not go there if it isn't absolutely necessary. Well, where do I go? There wasn't much else to find unless something I found helped me access the terminal in there. Let's see. Here we go. Ah, the photo is what I needed. Resource Manager Lumumba's terminal contains all the usual reports and statistics on the mine's operation. There is, however, a voice conversation between Mr. Lumumba and Director Pierre Tong. I'll give you the details. Jean, don't you see what's happening out there? Pierre, I see just fine. I'm handling it. Pierre, just admit we're screwed. The rift event has doomed us all. It's not like that. AF4B-3B has every distress signal we've got firing back home. We're going to be fine. Fine? Colony B is a smoking ruin. Everyone's blaming you, you know. Our genius leader, completely out of his depth. We're going to be fine. We're prepared for this. I'm prepared for this. Those idiots are just freaking out. Because you're not leading them. Because, oh, dang it. What? Gene, what is it? I have to go. Someone is trapped down in the mines. I have to go. Gene, you can't go down there. Don't be an idiot. The audio file cuts off there. That's all I can extract from the terminal. Okay, so does that mean I need to go down into the caves after all? I guess. Oops. Wait. Oh, I forgot this. That monitor shows a real-time overview of what's going on in the mines. The blue indicator is where you are right now. Those red areas, though, those indicate humans who shouldn't be in the mines during operation. They could indicate survivors I couldn't account for. You need to get down there and verify if anyone is still alive. Yeah, highly unlikely. What a sight. That room has been completely demolished. You can head down to the mines or take a look at the equipment up there. This is the sorting chamber. You can still see some of the special drones attached to the pillars up there. They maneuver around to sort the various crystals within the mining aggregate and package them up in safety containers. Okay. I'm reading very dirty air down there. It looks like part of the mine suffered a cave-in. It must be very stifling in there. Ooh, man, it's really sparking bad down here. There are chips and circuits from one of the excavation drones in the mine floor. They've been stripped of all their wiring. Man, this is really badly damaged electronic stuff. You seem to have scanned a portable data log. It must have got accidentally picked up with the mining aggregate. This apparently belonged to Gene Lumumba. It appears somewhat damaged, but I'm able to pull a fragment from the original audio. Here it is, as best as I can access it. This is, wheezing sound, Gene Lumumba, resource manager. I tried to help out. They got stuck down here, the two of them. Viktorov and Fisher. As much as I hate to admit it, maybe Pierre was right. This place might be where I die. That's where this log ends. It seems to be the first part of a series of recordings. If we do find Mr. Lumumba's body, he'll be the first leader that we found the body of. The mining drone has been crushed by falling debris. It will never mine again. Do I want to go to aggregate chamber or what's this? Oh, that's inaccessible. Refugee station. That's where the excavation drones brought the blasted aggregate and loaded it in automated carts. The air is even fouler down here. The drone looked like it failed when exposed to more dirt than it was designed for. It was definitely overworked. That's a collection of motor function parts from an excavation drone, or at least the basics. Very small parts have been removed. Doesn't look like we're finding anything useful to us. Looks like some safety caps were left down here when people left. Okay, I can go to the blasting chamber. Or the... Ooh, there's a way to get to the refugee station. Let's go down there. Uh-oh, dead body. Those remains of excavation supervisor Carlotta Viktorov are surprisingly well preserved. She must have sealed herself in that refuge chamber. She's holding on to some crude notes, apparently scrawled on the backs of pages to an emergency manual. The notes read like some kind of last statement. Escape ship needed energy, came to get my secret stash of processed stuff. Cave-ins forced me in here. Without ventilation, air is finite. Fisher tried to rat me out. Took care of it. Don't want to die in this tomb, but at least this whole nightmare will be over. That's all Supervisor Viktorov managed to write, it seems. Without a clear air supply, I'm afraid she wouldn't have lasted long down there. She said she was processing something special. Was she, like, stealing stuff? Take pocket knife. That scratched up antique looks to be a heavily modified consumer grade pocket knife. It could probably be used to pry something open. You know, I believe it belonged to Mr. Lumumba. Perhaps you should mention it to him in the holosim chamber this evening. Okay. I like the setting of this mine a lot better than the other places. The other places were just indoor rooms. But this is like, you know, natural caves. You're in one of the digging chambers, or at least one that didn't completely collapse. Your signal is weak. Please be careful. Looks like you found a data log. It appears to be the second in a series. I've pulled what audio I can from it. I'll read it for you. I'm here, coughing, in the mining caves. I have been for some time. Cave-ins have made return impossible. Viktorov, her eyes, so afraid, so manic. That fear reminded me to keep going. I'm not giving up. You fool, Pierre. Maybe your pig-headedness is exactly what I need right now. That's all I can recover from this log. It appears someone removed many of that drone's components. Judging by its condition, it was mercifully inoperable by that point. Mercifully inoperable. So it's like he's worried about how the robot felt when he was dismantling it. That is geochemist Maya Fisher. It looks like her suit was compromised. It's got several deep slashes throughout. She was likely exposed to the toxic air too long. The scan revealed an item in her pocket, a replicated ring in a small box. It looks like a simple wedding band. It's of no use to us, but I find it curious. Well, it seems excavation supervisor Viktorov and geochemist Fisher both met their ends down here. What a lonely place to die. Mr. Lumumba's audio file suggested we went down there as well. He went down there as well, but apparently he isn't there. See if you can find out what happened to him. I knew it. All of the leaders aren't to be found. There's some mystery about what happened to them. This drone has been heavily excavated for parts and pieces. It looks so helpless there, down in that awful place. I'm guessing all 4 leaders met at the last building that I haven't been to. But why, I don't know. Okay, there was one more door I haven't been in. Maybe I can access it now. Yay. Good work. Using the knife to pry open the door was a smart solution. You can enter now. There's an empty emergency kit. It's been completely depleted of both rations and medical supplies. That equipment contains the fragment of a data log. By the file number, it looks to be the third in a series. I'll read it. Quakes have stopped, and this coffin has held steadily. No, not a coffin. I'm getting out of here. Pierre, you idiot. If you find this, if I don't make it out, I want you to know I'm not giving up. Energy, fuel, that's my speciality. And I've got an idea to help me get somebody off this rock at least. The rest of the log is just background noise, and then it ends. That seems to be the last part of this particular recording. Well, those data files suggest that Mr. Lumumba attempted to escape. I think he probably did. It looks like you've discovered as much as you're going to down there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is any fuel left for us to process. And now we're left with the mystery of what happened to Mr. Lumumba, but I don't want you hanging around in those mines any longer. Okay, what's this though? Those are parts from one of the colony's drones, specifically energy core casings. The cores themselves are missing. So that's it. There was nothing useful. That's too bad. Oh well, guess we're done. Let's get out of here. Oh, I never scanned this? The lobby was decorated with plants grown in the agrodomes. They would have looked beautiful in that grand space. Huh. There was something entirely unwholesome about those caves. There was a moment when I felt my communication link was getting weak. I must admit I was worried. I didn't want you to lose focus or panic while you were down there, so I didn't say anything. In any case, you did great. Come back to base and I'll process what you found today, and you can relax. All right. It's kind of scary to think that something like this might actually happen someday. If SpaceX has a Mars mission that sends people to Mars, you can imagine that at some point we might lose communication with them and we wouldn't know what happened, and then someone else might go and investigate and they'd all be dead. That would be sad. Excellent work, Mac. You've been successful at every mission so far. This is really going to help us. Come see me as usual, so I can process these findings and plan our next move. So if there wasn't anything useful in that mines... Whoa. My controller is vibrating a lot. But anyway, if there wasn't anything useful in that mines, I'm worried that we may not be able to get the escape pod going. Mac, do you hear the storm outside? I hear it. Yeah, I can feel it vibrating in my controller. I thought you might. The wind has really picked up, and it's getting increasingly hostile out there. The weakening of the planet has caused a violent new storm system to come our way. This wind is just the beginning. You should still be able to have one of your extracurricular meetings, but if I believe your safety is compromised, I'll have to shut things down. Since you went to the caves, you'll be able to visit Mr. Lumumba in the Holosim chamber tonight. Be mindful this evening. I would hate to see our last remaining home damaged the way Colony B was. Uh-oh. Wonder what's gonna happen. Man, my controller is vibrating like crazy. Must be really storming. Mac, please wake up. We may not have much time tonight. I was hesitant to let you go into the chamber, but the storm has calmed a bit, and I didn't want you to miss out. I know how much these visits mean to the hologram, so as long as you don't take too long, you should be okay. But when your meeting is over tonight, please head straight to your quarters. I fear this storm may get worse again any minute. Stay safe tonight, Mac. Okay, so we met with Leslie and didn't really get anything in the caves, but now we're gonna get to meet Jean, but we'll do that in the next episode. And there is some kind of storm going on, so I'm interested to see if we're gonna take damage after the next meeting, but that'll be in the next episode. For now, I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day, and I'll catch you on the next day that I am Mac.